Welcome to our today's session on Foundation of Personal Success web series. And part three, we are talking about inconsistency of previously two Sundays. We discussed part one, part two on a very emotional and very important identity crisis related topic. Where are you from? And in previous 2 weeks, we discussed different aspect, different paradigms related to this notion. Where are you from? And this part is very much focused on towards solution um, and or possible solution, um, which is synergy level solution. So let's start our session. Welcome back again. Just for a quick information, you can join our subscribe our YouTube channel, and there are a couple of links where you can visit and browse my work and some of the group website on the Facebook and blog as well. You can visit and uh, today's class session may change the outlook of yourself towards life, success, and world around us. And you are taking your own responsibility. Um, the purpose of this class session is not to promote or demote any race, religion, language, etc. And let's begin our session for today. Um, I last day I posted this very important note, which is relate of today's topic about Mahatma Gandhi from India, from subcontinent, from South Asia, who was a legend person, who is a role model for many leaders in the world currently, including Dr. Stephen Covey. Uh, and he actually introduced the non-violence philosophy to the world when there was racism on a high in South Africa, in India as well, and other part of the world. And he was thrown off a running train due to his skin color. And uh, I will tell you at the end of this session that how he coped it and how he did respond when he was thrown out of the train in South Africa. So leave it with me for a couple of minutes until we come at the end of the session, 10 minutes before end of the session. So where are you from is very much look like as a origin related, is a regional identity notion where we ask people that where who they are due to our many reasons which we discuss in last two Sunday as well. And we know that this where are you from notion has a identity issue, and identity issue is not only the ethnicity, is not only uh, the your language, not only for the racism from the religion or philosophy you belongs to or different culture, but it is a mix of all overall our superficial identities which we keep in our world. Even it's related with gender, which is female and male, man and woman. It is also related with the sexual orientation, which is very much everywhere we know about them as well. It is also related disability related. If we discriminate anyone based on their disability, we also doing racist act or thought. Uh, So it's very vast, racism. Its dimensions are very vast. So, and why it is, because we discussed about, before, we are locked in our paradigm, which we learned from our school, from our parents, from our media, from our newspaper, from our textbooks, from our colleagues, from our boss, as a part of overall nurturing. And we do have lost our identity itself, because we are mixer of many people, many um, mixed type of thoughts. So we are very mixed group. We don't have actually identity, pure identity, because on a superficial level. Therefore we have to carry one face one time and other face another time. Sometimes we behave differently, and in some situation we behave very contradictory, and therefore we our identity is theft by our culture, by our surroundings. And we that's therefore we are very confused if somebody asks us, where are you from, who you are, and we don't know still who I am. And maybe my parents belongs to someone, my parents or my grandparents speak different language, I speak different language. I maybe belongs to inferior or superior culture or values related. And so it's quite confusing. And we survive with our set answers when anybody asks. It's like a exact. We have a survival identities, like a army man when they go for many months on a trip, a journey, or on a mission. So they choose a couple of different types of knives for their survival. And therefore, we also choose different type of um stuff, a different type of identities, race, ethnicity, socio-economic class, gender, sexual orientation, age group. We belongs to national origin, first language, second language, religion, and it's a long list as well. Yeah. And last session, before I come to the synergy level, we discussed that the solution, one of the great solution, that we have to wake our conscious, and based on our conscious, which is maybe located in our mind or outside our mind, maybe it related with the God, or maybe it's somewhere else, but it's very much 100% existence of the conscious, which guides us, which is a very small voice within us, that who we are, and did we did wrong, or did we do right somehow. And they give us the sense what is evil and what is good. And that conscious is in every woman, every man, and we live it by. So, because we are unaware for this conscious, so we have to discover this conscious level anyway. My today's lecture is not related how we can discover our conscious if we forgot it. It's a different topic, which maybe I will prepare for you next uh, top in couple of weeks time. If you want, please comment below that you want me to address the topic how we can discover our conscious if we have forgotten, which 99% people have forgotten. But still, because everyone has a good evil sense in some degree, therefore conscious is still alive within, but it's very ignorable. It's in very small portion, maybe 1 or 2 percentage. As a whole they keep, and they are aware about this conscious. Therefore they are victim of racism, or other people do uh, uh, I mean, give them superiority or influence based on their ethnicity or any racist intention. So, and we discuss already these details. Now, today's is very much we will focus on synergy, and the synergy has been defined and described in a various way. So I'm not talking about or our dictionary language, how the dictionary has defined us this synergy. But I want to tell you about a higher conscious level, higher meaning of this notion, which will help us to cope this problem of identity crisis, like it did to me as well and many other people. Um, so anybody want to participate that what does it synergy means? What when we say synergy, what does it mean? Anybody can speak, please.
I've understood synergy to be the third alternative, right? Um, to the solution, a third alternative.
Hmm. Yeah, you can little bit describe how what does it mean by third alternative,
Hmm.
or any
You describe
or
it.
you can, yeah, I can describe it, no problem. Yeah, yeah, you are right. Synergy is a process to get third alternative, how we can achieve third
Mhm.
alternative. And what is third alternative? I'm coming to this one. Thank you. um, well, first of all, we need to understand what that man is. That man is look like a very arrogant, very selfish, who is fully equipped by his own interest or her own interest, who only care about himself or herself, and his or her ego is very high. um, and if that sense of feeling or that sense of superiority anybody has, then they talk this type of languages, two ways of thinking. And we- first they say I and you, or if they are a group they will say they and we. So like in this caricature, if you see, so when we talk about you, it means you are outside of my I. Yeah. So you are separate entity and I'm separate. And if I belongs to any group, I representing any community, then I will say we, and then I will say you, many. So still I am classifying both group. So when I classify you and I, they and we, it means that one of them is right or other are wrong, isn't it? If I'm winning, it means other are losing, or if other are losing, I am winning. So this type of thinking we call alternate to second alternative thinking, or two ways thinking. So either they will win or I will win. Either they are right, I'm wrong. Either they are successful, I'm failure. Either they are black, I'm white. Either they are men, I'm woman. So these are the opposite type of stuff we we do. We think our thinking pattern is actually designed like this. Yeah. So that's how we are. this is called second two-way thinking pattern, and that's how we think ourselves, about others, about everything in this world. My country, your country, my world, your world, my thinking pattern, your thinking pattern. So me, you, we, they. So that type of thing is actually a root cause to feel either sense of superiority or sense of inferiority, whether I will feel victim or may other try to feel them or him or his as a victim. How does it work? How I can say? So I can say, yeah, I will tell you in detail in further that how me and we are very much contradictory thought pattern we have been designed, unfortunately. But there is another way, which is called third alternative thinking or third alternative way. And it does mean that it is not my way, it is not your way, but it is our way, or we call it higher way. Like Stephen Covey used to say, is a higher way. Not you, not me. Let's work together to create a third alternative to find the solution. So, this is a third alternative thinking pattern. And when the identity crisis, when I ask you, where are you from? When that person is confused, it means that he or she is confused about other person identity or his own identity. And when I ask, where are you from? Or I show or I ask um, any question which create conflict in my mind without other person is telling you that it's a conflict, but I am perceiving it as a conflict. So the solution or very much thinking pattern which we need to have a third alternative, and how does it work and how it is related with that racial stuff. That's a very surprising thing. um, it is my own stuff which I derived. I will justify it as well, how I'm saying this and how it fulfill the problem of identity crisis as well. I will let you know in a short while as well. And because the third alternative tells us the solution of life most difficult problems which we have, like identity crisis. Have you Do you know when I'm at home and I'm a wife or husband, why we conflict with each other? Why I don't um, respect my partner for any reason, or I start to mock him or her, or when we are at workplace, and if we working in a multicultural way, I tend to speak other people in a different way, and my local people, or my local people means the same country people, in a different way. um, why? Because I have my own sense of perception about particular person or a community or group which he or she is representing, isn't it? So whether we are at home, work, social group, any legal schools we belongs to, or my society has legalized in these schools, or we are in school or educational environment we are working, we always have a conflict of two opinion. One group is saying this, other group is saying this, and there is a deadlock. There is a deadlock. Husband will say I'm right, wife will say I'm right, Nobody is bothering to find any third alternative which is a higher way, because we are not designed to think third alternative, because we think only your way or my way. That's it. So my way is superior. If you want to live with me, if you want to work in my office, you need to follow me only. I don't care about yourself. You have to follow me. Otherwise, I'm going to fire you from my office. I'm going to divorce you. I'm going to disconnect my life with you. You know, only there are two possible solution we get on, because we don't know about third alternative, and we don't know about celebrating our difference with each other. We are not designed to do that. Therefore the conflicts are very very hot, and it impact on the whole society. Every nation, including America, Britain, Australia, India, Pakistan, Japan, everywhere, there are conflicts between people, and many of the reason, the biggest cause is identity. It's not about other identities. It about my identity, because I don't know about myself. That's why I will doubt on other person, because I did not discover myself. I have a doubt on other person's self, because I don't have a true self-esteem for myself. I will I don't have a respect for other person's self-esteem, and that's why psychological way I will make other person in a difficult situation, because I am in difficult situation, because of identity theft, because of identity crisis, because I don't know about myself. I will doubt on yourself, and that's how it will do. It does work. And the third alternative will help you, first of all, to understand who you are, who I am. And once I am confident and I know truly who I am, then I will try to understand other who he or she is. And when I know her or him, then we will find the third way to find our relationships future, which is a third alternative, which is a higher way. But it starts from my own identity, my own biasness, my own prejudice, which I have to get rid of. And today we will learn about how we need to understand about our biasnesses. So I took these texts from Dr. Stephen Covey, the third alternative. Um, it is the two alternative thinking and third alternative thinking. There are four differences, and they are very fundamental things. Yeah, the first or second alternative thinking say I see only my side. The third alternative thinking demands you I see myself independent of my side. Do you have this capacity, Jenny or Ifzal, that can you see beyond of yourself? For example, um, I'm a Britisher. Can I see myself beyond being a Britisher? Or I'm a man. Can I see myself beyond that I'm a man? I mean, can I think beyond my gender identity? Or I speak my other language and I can consider myself beyond this language, beyond my culture which I am representing, or beyond my any other identity which I hold, or yourself. If If I cannot think about myself beyond or independent of my side, my ethnicity, beyond my national original identity, based or my religion, or then I will show only biased thought about myself. And when I will meet the other person, I will reflect these biased by asking other person, where are you from, where are you belongs to, who you are, which religion you are, which language you speak, where your parents from, or blah blah blah.
I
That's
think
how
yes, sir.
this problem originates.
Yeah,
You see, the second thing, I stereotype you. So because I don't know about, I'm not confident, or I'm biased about myself, therefore I will stereotype you. Or you are black, you are African, you are white, or you are Asian, or you are uh, lady, or you are blah blah, whatever I want to enforce my thought upon other person's identity, I will do. And that's I will doing stereotyping uh, communication to them. So therefore, when you ask other person who you are or introduce yourself, the other person may find it offensive that he wants to know my religion, my gender, or my sexual orientation, or my language, or my culture, or my about my parents, or my background, or blah blah blah. And that's why that create the conflict. And that because I my communication is a stereotyping. uh, but the third alternative response is, I see you as a human being, not as just a representative of your side, your community, your religion, your team, your company, your city, your language, and blah blah blah. So I don't need to stereotype you. I need to see you as a whole human being, as a, that you are a person of multi capacities, physical intelligence, you have mental intelligence, you have spiritual intelligence, you have great values, you follow principle. These are your original identities. Not you are American, not you are African, not you are Asian. These are just your survival identities which we are working, but we don't care about these things. The third thing about the second alternative thinking, I defend myself against you because you are wrong. Yeah. So every that's the dual nature we have, that if somebody asks a question or anything, or ask in a question in interview or in a meeting about anything, we have a superiority for nothing. I'm right and you are wrong. My country is right and your country is wrong. My country is good and your country is not good, or at least less good. My sports team, football team, is much better than your football dummy team. So me and you, these type of thing I have all the time in my mind. But the third alternative thinking will say the same thing in a different way. I seek you out because you seeing things differently. That's the beautiful uh, thought about any other person I can have. I need to learn from you. You will give me the slice of truth, which I don't know. Please educate me. If you have this mindset, then you will have a mindset of third alternative thinker or synergistic process driver. You will drive the negotiation towards something great conclusion. But how many we are? How many times we ask our partner? Did we ask our wife or our husband or our partner that, oh, my love, oh, honey, I see you out because you see things very differently. I need to learn from you. Never. We try to impose our thing that I know much better than you because of my side is superior than you, and that's a conflict arise. And the fourth thinking pattern, second alternative way, I attack on you. Now after this, I will attack on you. We make war on each other, like the war between capitalist and socialist, between Trump and Jaden, in a Republican versus Democrats, between here in our UK, conservative versus liberal. They start to attack. You are dash dash. Oh, and you are that, and you know, and they are very sincerely attacking on each other. It happens in Parliament, and it happened almost in every conflict because I'm representing my side with a lot of biasness, and I'm trying to justify myself in a with more rational lies. Look at between India and Pakistan. So both countries were separated based on religion, and now they are the nuclear power neighbors, and they attack on each other. Big attacks. They think that my side is right and your side is wrong. So look at the China and the USA war, economy war. USA claim that they have a superior product and services in the world. Chinese say no, we have superior product and service in the world, and that's the because they both countries have a two alternative thinking. And what is the third alternative thinking in this regard? I synergize with you. Together we can create an amazing future that no one could ever foreseen. You see? So that is the ultimate result we have to do if we want to avoid this identity crisis, or if we are leg pulling of other party or stuff that we have to eventually we need to do. So there are four sides, second alternative thinking we are equipped with, and we have a third alternative response of a replacement of each of things. So I don't need to cede my side. I don't need to stereotype you. I will not defend myself against you. I will not attack you. So what I will do, I will see myself beyond my sight. I will see you as a whole person, as a full capacity individual, beyond from your sight. I seek you out because I want to learn from you. And the last, I synergize with you. And together, you and me can create a great future which nobody has never imagined. And you see, it the best example. There are so many examples. The best example between uh, husband and wife, or between female partner and male partner, when they do marry or they are in civil partnership, then they reproduce baby. And do you know the baby or the child which they born is an excellent example of third alternative, because that baby, that child get the genetical representation from both, from mom, from dad, and and also the baby has its own unique participation as well. So child is a great and miracle and third alternative of this third alternative or synergistic product. Now I'm going to show read couple of things about example of the disaster of two alternative thinking. Now I will say disaster. Why? Because when we think two alternative thinking with mindset, always there is a conflict. Either they are right or either I am right. And obviously, uh, maybe the third thing is a right. So,
Rather, can I just ask something? I add something
yeah,
on. Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, all these 4 points of the second alternative, which you have compared with the third alternative. Yeah.
yeah,
So while somebody have a mindset of the second alternative thinking, if they exercise empathy with them with all these 4 points, do you think the result will be the different regarding to the third alternative?
excellent, excellent question. That's right, Mr. Ifzal. Um, when there is a fourth level, which I say I synergize with you, when I, after three stages or three steps of these, when I will have a fourth step or fourth thought, I synergize with you. That is a point where we will empathizing. We will have a empathy with other person, and then that together they will create a great miracles. Absolutely on that point. And if you don't have empathy, like you saying, you must are exercising the second alternative thinking only, because for get the benefit of third alternative, you have to empathize the other person. Or if you are not doing empathy with other person, then it means you are doing sympathy. And sympathy is a notion of second alternative
Yeah.
thinking, because in sympathy you know that the other person is still wrong, but you are just sympathizing with other. You imagine that the other person is exactly opposite to me, exactly don't agree with that person, and he or she is really speaking bullshit or blah blah, but I still doing a sympathy, not the empathy. But if I will have a empathy,
Yeah.
I have to take his or her shoes and
Yeah.
need to feel how she and he is feeling in a certain situation, or then what I will decide on that time, I will be deciding the great thing.
Yeah, in the sympathy mindset, you are still not understanding the third person mindset,
That's correct.
basically. So
Absolutely.
it's mean you are still in the complex of superiority, because
Yes.
you are thinking I am showing my sympathy with them, with him or her, but on the empathy level you are trying to understand the mindset of the third person.
That's correct. Absolutely. That's very well understood. So empathy is a higher activity between two people, and the best example is a husband and wife, or male partner or female partner, when they are dreaming or they are deciding to create their future. Exactly, when boss or different director of different mindset, when they think by placing their each other mind with each other, then their decision will be going towards synergistic solution of any problem. That I will come on this as well, on this in detail. So um, we can avoid or handle racism by practicing new paradigms, such as synergistic paradigm and avoiding the two alternative thinking pattern. Yeah. So this paragraph I took from the book, which is related with that second and third alternative. Yeah, please, Jenny, if you can read out for us.
All right. We can avoid or handle racism by practicing new paradigms such as a synergistic paradigm and avoiding second alternative thinking pattern. No matter what approach we take to our problems, natural consequences will follow. War begets war, victims become dependent, reality crushes people in denial, cynics contribute nothing. And if we keep doing the same things we've always done, hoping that this time the results will be different, we are not facing reality. Albert Einstein reportedly said, the significant problems we have cannot be solved at the same level of thinking with which we created them. To solve our most difficult problems, we must radically change our thinking, and that's what this book is about.
Yeah, so we have to change our thinking radically, completely transformation of our thinking, and then we can understand, and we will not be offensive the other person. Now I'm going to give you an example of second alternative thinking and how the third alternative thinking made the difference in a European nation. Um, so um, there
Maratib,
are,
you just
yeah,
said you took this paragraph from the third alternative, the book of the Stephen Covey.
yeah,
All right, okay, that's fine.
yeah, that's right. And this is, have you heard about the story of tomato? A few hundred years ago, the tomato were prohibited in Europe, and they people or scholar on that time they assumed that the tomato, if you eat tomato, you will die. And it's a very interesting example that Stephen Covey has given in the book. So it's a few lines. Let's try to learn this story, uh, and it is also two alternative thinking. We European nation they used to have a mindset, and when they turned into the third alternative thinking, and then they knew that these tomatoes are actually a great source of health. And let's learn about this. If you can read it, please, Jenny, please.
For example, when the tomato was first brought to Europe from the Americas, a French but it is the dreaded wolf peach spoken of by ancient scholars. Eating a tomato would cause twitching, foaming at the mouth, and death, he warned. So early European colonists in America wouldn't touch it, although they grew it in their gardens as a decorative plant. At the same time, one of the most dangerous diseases the colonists faced was scurvy, brought on by the lack of vitamin C, which is plentiful in tomatoes. The cure was right in their gardens, but they died because of a flawed paradigm. After a century or so, the paradigm shifted as new information came out. The Italians and Spanish began eating tomatoes. Thomas Jefferson reportedly grew them and promoted their use as food. Today, the tomato is the most popular of vegetables. Now we see tomatoes as helpful, we do eat them, and we get healthy. That is the power of a paradigm shift.
Yeah, yeah, you see the how the paradigms about uh, two in terms of two alternative thinking is so damaging, and always or most of the time is damaging. So because they thought that we are right and they are wrong, therefore there thousands of millions of European they died because they could not eat tomatoes, where all so many tomatoes were already plowed in their gardener in the gardens as a decoration, but they did not do. And when they learned about this, they and now it became the source of healthful food. Um, so that's a change of thinking pattern uh, we, we we learned in the past as well. There is a great example of environmentalist versus developers. That is also um, showing some of the reflection of third alternative, how they can adopt. Yeah, please read me for me.
Environmentalist versus developer. If I am an environmentalist and my paradigm or mental map shows only a beautiful untouched forest, I will want to preserve it. If you as a developer have a mental map that shows only underground oil deposits, you will want to drill for oil. Both paradigms might be accurate. Yes, there is a pristine forest on the land, but the oil deposits are there too. The problem is that neither mental map is complete and never can be. As it turns out, the foliage of the tomato plant is poisonous. So, in part, the anti tomato paradigm was correct. Though some mental maps may be more complete than others, no map is truly ever complete because the map is not the terrain itself. As D.H. Lawrence said, every half truth at length produces the contradiction of itself and the opposite half truth.
Yeah, yeah, carry on, please.
If I see only the mental map of the first alternative, my own incomplete map, then the only way to solve the problem is to persuade you to shift your paradigm or even force you to accept my alternative. It's also the only way to preserve my image. I must win and you must lose. If on the other hand I throw away my map and follow yours, the second alternative, I face the same problem. You can't guarantee that your mental map is ever complete. So you might pay a terrible price for following your map. You might win, but I could lose. We could combine maps, and that helps. We would have a more inclusive map that takes into account both our perspectives. I would understand your perspective, and you would understand mine. That is progress. Even so, we might be left with incompatible goals. I still don't want the forest to be touched, and you still want to drill for oil in the forest. My thorough understanding of your map might lead me to fight you even harder.
Yes, thank you. So you see how in spite of our two different perspective to do the same stuff, you when you try to mix two different perspective in a through the process, then you might get the solution or towards something which we both can get the higher way purpose. So that's a beautiful real stories from the past. So if I tell you about further in detail, um, that how myself and yourself contradict, and when I see myself, um, then what I think about myself, and when I see my side, what I think my side. So that's because of our identity problem. We think wrongly about ourselves, and therefore the problem happens. So this is one of the see do get pattern about how what is my identity. Either I see about myself or my side. So myself mean myself, me, and my side mean which group I belongs to, my family, my community, my religion, my language, my region, my city. That's my side. So let's see how I think about myself. So I see myself as a creative, self-aware human being, which is more than the side. I favor. I might share certain beliefs or belongs to certain groups, but those do not define me. My thinking comes from inside out. So this is a beautiful. true and sincere thought about myself. So I'm not representing, I'm not what I belongs to my side. I am what, and they do not define me. What define me is about myself, which is coming from my inside out, which is my own interest, which is my own strength, which are principles, my own values. These are my identity. So, as compared to if I see my side, I see myself in terms of group. I belongs to my side, my party, my company, my country, my gender, my race. I define myself as a conservative, a working guy, a feminist, or a gangster instead of an individual. My thinking comes from my outside in. You see, when you will see with myself, you are more in truthful thoughts. But when you start to see my side, you are going to be deceived by your sides, which you are representing. So how your that's we in a last lecture, in a last class, we learned that identity theft, that you are not representing your country, your gender, your race, or your language, or etc. What you are, and they are not defining you. You see. Now let's go to I see myself. Do what I do as a myself. I think about what I think. I challenge my own assumptions as well as the other people's. Yeah, that's a very much, all leaders, they have a same pattern of thinking about ourselves. If they if they assume about something about themselves, they challenge it, and they research on this. They find out further that might be they are wrong. It's not ultimate truth, they know, so they keep working on this. Whereas my side, I think what my group thinks. I'm right. Why should I challenge my assumption? So you don't challenge your assumption because you think that you are a part of group and your group cannot be wrong. You are a Democrat, you are a Republican, you cannot be wrong. So that's how we are thinking pattern. And what we get actually, if I see myself, I get creative engagement with other people. You see, now I will be a creative person. And when I ask other person who he or she is, other person will not feel offensive. And other person will feel that you are a trustable guy, and he or she will be happy to tell about hers or his strength and weaknesses, which is their own identity. But if I will see if my side, then destructive conflict with other people will happen. You know, so always keep away from your side, because your side will take you away, make you a racist, make you a biased against other, and also suppress your own values and your inside out approach as well. So the left side, the left side is much more about inside out approach, about character, about roots. But if this side is my world, which is outside in, which I have to ignore because it leading to a conflict. And last week we know about this. Because of this, the real identity theft is happening. And we actually read this paragraph last time as well. It's the same paragraph. Yeah, because More serious identity theft is to get swallowed up in other people's definition of you. You are not what other people are defining you. See, that's a real identity theft. So let's go to see the same thing to the opposite. Other, what I'm thinking about other. That was that was a table describing myself by about my site. And if I'm confident about myself, my site, then now I need to understand other person and other side. Let's see. Again, it's a pattern to understand this see, do, get. So when I see you, what I see a whole person being endowed with innate worth, talent, passion, and strength that are unique in the whole universe. You are more than your sight. You deserve dignity and respect. That is a true understanding. That is a true perception I must have when I am talking with other person, when I am questioning during the interview, when I'm meeting any person during the meeting, when I'm meeting my customer. I have to think like this. You need to see the other person in the same way. He is not representing the site. If you will think other person as a side, then I will stereotype you. See, now read it. I see the group you belongs to means your side, your party, Republican Party, your gender, you are male, you are female, your nationality, you are American, you are Saudi, you are African, Nigerian, your company, you belongs to Apple or Microsoft or a company which I don't know. You try to judge other person. You race or you black or white, you're brown, or you know, you are a symbol, you are a thing. I will start to other person as a thing, a liberal, a boss, a Hispanic, or a Muslim instead of a unique person. You know, so that's I'm start to stereotype other person because I'm perceiving other person as they are representing other group, and that's why other person always or feel insecure when you ask them from where you are or ask who you are. It could be your customer. I know many people when like when they sit as a passenger, sometimes they ask the driver, oh, where are you from? And sometimes driver asks the passenger, oh, where are you from? I mean, they ask each other identities for nothing because they want to discuss about that particular group or country. That's why they are asking. So they are limiting that person into that group only. Maybe that person or that driver is beyond that group which he or she looks like is representing. So that's why we don't need to stereotype other person. That stereotype thinking is very much conflicting between people. Now, do I demonstrate authentic respect for you? I really respect you. I don't care who you are from, where you are from. You are my just a buddy. You are my just a friend. You are you are more than my friend. Like Jenny last in last session, she explained very well that when she speak or she interact with other people, she never bother about who they, where from they, blah blah blah. He or she is just a person. That's a unique person in a whole world. So that's a And if I want to stereotype that person, what I will say, I ignore you or fake respect of you. That's happening everywhere. We might be thinking, if I have a stereotype of mindset, so I will show racism with my attitude or with my fake respect towards other. And what we get, if I'm following rules, fundamental principle, so what I will get, about other, an atmosphere of synergy where we are much stronger together than separately. Yes. So if I am synergizing with my boss, if I'm synergizing with my manager, if I'm synergizing or creating an atmosphere where I'm respecting really authentically, and I don't see that person as representing his or her side, then we will do amazing things. If husband and wife meet together and they belongs to different ethnicity, different country, different stuff, then they can do amazing miracles. If they are doing separately, they will do less. But if they are meeting with each other, if they are interacting with each other, if they are living with each other with such a fantastic, unbiased mindset, then never clash will happen. Even you will create miracles. Like I said, child. The child is your miracle actually, but you don't know. Even I know many people, when the child is born, the mother side, they are saying, oh, they look like, oh, they are like a mom, or they are like the uncle of the uncle from the mother side, and the father side is saying, oh, they look like a dad. Oh, he's on dad or she's on dad. You know, so they try to enforce their opinion and project on what is not a reality. You know, so uh, that's happened. And but if I'm stereotyping, what I will get against other, an atmosphere of hostility. We are weakened by our deviance and antagonisms for each other, and that's we get when I stereotype other. Then this only the division we get. Only we weak ourselves. We weak our community. We weak our societies. Oh, so that is a third alternative approach about you. And before we discuss the third alternative approach about myself, so if I'm confident about myself, I think great about myself beyond my side. And if I start to think other person beyond his or her side, now what will happen? What will happen? Third alternative thinking will start now. Now I seek you out. What does it mean? I need to have a different slices of truth. I will start to ask, I need to learn from you. Oh, you have a great truth which I don't know. Or you have a great opinion which I don't know. I need to learn from you. Rather than to enforce the other, oh no, I know who you are. I know what I'm good and you are not good. I'm good, you are evil. I'm or blah blah, this type of thing. But when I seek you out in a third alternative, after who I am, after who you are in a great way, the third outcome will, I seek you out. And if I am not going for have a slice of truth from other, then what I will do? I defend myself against you, which are not very useful. And what I do, I say you see things differently. I need to listen to you. Have you seen any great husband or a great boss or a great political party leader who asks the other person, "Hey, you see things differently. I need to listen to you." Amazing. Have you come across this type of situation? I think not, because that situation only comes when you give the right self other person. But mostly I defend myself against you. So now what I will do, I say, you see things differently, you are a threat. So any, if wife or husband or boss or employee or political party, if say anything, you feel that it's now threat on you. If you have this feeling, it means that you have a second alternative thinking mindset and other person also have, and you will start to defend yourself. And can't pursue you. I ignore, avoid, or actively oppose you. I will protest you. I will kill you. These type of feelings I start to come. It start to happen. You see, and what we get if we are approaching to third alternative, a broader, more inclusive view of the problem that enable a more robust solution. So we will go for the robust solution, amazing solution, which was not before. But if I'm not going with the third alternative, if I'm not know who I am, if I don't know who he or she is, then what happens? A narrow, exclusive view of the problem that leads to a defective solution, or I can say compromise solution. Maybe one of the side will compromise, but when this side will stronger, he or she will suppress the other side immediately because he or she is compromising temporarily. See, and the last thing, when I seek you out in a third alternative way, then I synergize with you. Now see, at this stage, 1 plus 1 equal to 10, 100 or 1000. Did you see this notion? 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. But that's we know. But if you are synergizing with your wife, with your partner, with your boss, with your employee, with your political party, and with your other opposite member of the other group, then you will get 1 plus 1 is equal to 10, 100 and 1000 or even more. That the fruit you will get from the nature, 100%. But if you don't believe on synergizing, then 1 plus 1 equal to 0 or even less, that you will get. You see many people when they come across with other people at home, workplace, or in social gathering, they are very pessimistic, they are very hopeless, and they discourage you. Your any thought, your any action, and see, oh, they know that they what is a reality, or you don't become idealized or don't become this, and they try to demoralize you. Have you come across these type of people? I see some of people, and I synergize with you. What you do, I look for the third alternative. I ask, Are you willingly to go for a solution that is better than either one of us in the mind? Or is the opposite you will come across? I look for a fight. Now you will win or I will win. I insist on my own narrow solution. I make sure the other side loses, although in at the end I might have to compromise. And at the last, when I synergize with you, what I get? What are the benefits of finding the third alternative? Immense. So much benefit you will get. And if you don't find it, then what are the cost of contempt for other? If you hurt someone, what you will get? You will get lost of relationship. Husband or wife will kick out from the house or try to plot privately with hidden agenda against you because you are attacking on her and she is attacking on you. Or employee will start to plot private meetings with other people to damage the company. And the same thing, the opposition party or the ruling party with some hidden agencies try to damage the country. So that start to happen when you damage the relationship with other. So that's how we we come across as a synergizing other or I attack other. So the solution also after the fourth paradigm or fourth um, paradigm, just I finished this one, that you must have a empathy. And Dr. Stephen give a very good definition of empathy. Empathy, um, Ifzal, can you read out for me the definition of empathy, please?
Yes, empathy happens when we find ourselves in the mind of the others. We observe reality through her eyes, feeling her emotions, share in her pain.
Yeah. So that's a true empathy. So before you stereotype anyone, if you start to and you start to motivate yourself or show your attitude, empathetic attitude towards other, then the other person will not offensive. Then the listener and speaker will start to create miracles, even in a conflict as well. If husband and wife, boss or employee, shop shopkeeper and seller and client, opposition party or ruling party, or other different ethnic people, they are meeting with each other, and if they are interacting with the spirit of empathy, then they will start to create miracles. So empathy is a very uh, basic activity in order to get the fruit of synergy. Now the question is how we can find our true self or self discovery. Well, we have discussed this in somehow in detail. Uh, when I say about myself, let me show you this one. So this one that sorry, yeah, this one. So this table actually tell me in details about myself that
Can
I'm
we
a
just go?
creative.
Can we just go on the
Yeah,
back slide? You know, the empathy one, please.
yeah, I'm going to show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah. On this one, the empathy, we understood what empathy is. So basically, when we have a conflict with anybody or having a problem with someone, so one person, one side, for example, from one person's side, if you got the emotions for other person, like a good emotions in your heart, and you are thinking positive for the third person, is it happen automatically in other person's mind because I am having the positive emotions in my mind, in my heart for him or her? So is there any kind of law or the law of the nature who works between the two personalities?
That's a great question. Um, I can answer in a two ways. One is a spiritual answer based on spirituality. Um, if I believe on spirituality, then I will feel positive about others person's response if I am feeling empathy. And but realistically, in a real way, um, it also happens. If I don't believe on spirituality or any uh, hidden stuff or spiritual or supernatural type of victories or blessings upon relationship, still it is a worthful, still it works as well. And there is a proper process of empathy which is from ages, centuries ago. People have been doing empathy in a different way in their tribes, in their civilization, in a different way. So, um, and obviously, when you, but obviously, Ifzal, the other person you have to educate about if other person don't know as well. So, for example, if you try to resolve the conflict, let's say with the boss or with the seller or with the wife or husband, you have to tell your approach how you are going to help each other to resolve the problem, and you need to tell about the empathy, that you need to listen to me the way I will listen to you. And when we both understand, fully understood each other, then we will find the third alternative. That condition you can put. And I think that because other person have to be educated about your intention. If other person don't know about empathy or about third alternative, that's the way we have to tell them. It will not be your way, it will not be my way, it will be the higher way. And let's, and there is a process. The process is empathy, and I will listen to you first and I will not speak anything, and then you will listen to me the way I listen to you, and you will not interfere anything. And then we both will repeat for each other. Is that the way you were talking? You want to speak with me? And the same thing, other person will repeat your what you want to say so that there should not be misunderstanding. And then you will start to advise the solution. And that's happened with many conflict resolution when we try to listen each other, the how the other way is start want to is actually feeling. So empathy is a proper process, and in this book there are dedicated I think 5 to 10 pages. Stephen Covey has written that what are the steps 1, 2, 3, 4, and to start and finish the empathy process. It's a great stuff. Obviously, my topic is not only the empathy, but
Yeah.
empathy is the value of leaders.
Hmm.
Empathy, the values of leader, is not the
Yeah.
value of ordinary people.
Or not really. Because exercise or heard about anything as well, and practically you see as well, when you are speaking to someone and you already had have a hate and a grudge and bad feeling for the third person, and obviously when you are speaking to someone, So consequences are going to be worst, and worse. The problem is not going toward the solutions. The problem will go to more towards the conflict. So before we speak to anybody, if we have the positive thinkings and all the the optimistic approach, if then we speak to someone. So I think it's a kind of natural law as works as well. When we think in our heart or mind, and then we speak, so when we speak with our sound goes toward the third person as well in their heart and mind, which make an impact of the consequences.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. I agree with you. Um, that's absolutely. But empathy is a basic for synergy, a
Synergy, yes.
process of synergy.
Mhm.
Empathy is a very basic. If other person is not willingly to listen to you at all, you cannot synergize. And then you need to say, thank you very much. Nice to meet you. Simple.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but obviously, because we all are human being, we can expect that we are the same heart, we have the same mind, and we know that how, I mean, we want to resolve. But if there is no will from other side at all, never bother to bother again.
Then I
So
think
obviously,
goodbye is the best option.
yeah. Like a habit number 4, which is think win-win.
Win-win
So if
situation.
they are willingly to win and you are willingly to win, that's fine. And if both party are agree, that's absolutely fine. But if other side is not willingly to win to you, or then obviously uh, there is uh, no relationship should be what we call no deal. There
No
should
deal.
not
That's
be
right.
any deal. Obviously, that's a habit number 4 as well.
Wow.
So there are 4 steps of synergy. How we can form synergy, um, and obviously my topic is not only to telling the details of synergy, but my topic today was is actually how synergy can resolve the identity issue and where the identity crisis lies. And we learned that our identity crisis lies first from my side, because I don't know about myself, and therefore I will stereotype other, and therefore there will I will or she or he will attack on me, and obviously then I will defend my side. Whereas the synergistic solution, I know myself, I know his self or herself, I synergize with her or him, and then let's create a synergistic solution. So that's a very bottom line I'm giving you, not going in detail. Now let's at the last stage, let's come back to the same question and the thought which I post on a face book group as well, that the Mahatma Gandhi was thrown out of the train in South Africa, and he was kept in the jail, and he was thrown out of the train because of the skin color. Because on that time there was so much racism in South Africa. That's why Nelson Mandela and big many people, they contributed to minimize the racism from South Africa forever. So uh, that's why now I'm asking Jenny to read this one page reading from the books, The Third Alternative by Stephen Covey, in which Stephen Covey himself had an interview with son of Mahatma Gandhi, and his name was Arun Gandhi. And Arun Gandhi described the Stephen Covey about how his father um, was taken away from the train, dropped down from the train, and then what he did. And
Grandson, not the son.
yeah, grandson, sorry. Yeah, that's right. So
Mhm.
let's go for if you can read it, Jenny.
Creative nonviolence. When I met Arun Gandhi, grandson of the legendary Mahatma Gandhi, he told me his insights about his grandfather's life. Ironically, if it hadn't been for racism and prejudice, we may not have a Gandhi. See, it was the challenge, the conflict. He may have been just another successful lawyer who had made a lot of money. But because of prejudice in South Africa, he was subjected to humiliation within a week of his arrival. He was thrown off a train because of the color of his skin. And it humiliated him so much that he sat on the platform of the station all night wondering what he could do to gain justice. His first response was one of anger. He was so angry that he wanted eye for an eye justice. He wanted to respond violently to the people that humiliated him. But he stopped himself and said that's not right. It was not going to bring him justice. It might make him feel good for the moment, but it wasn't going to get him any justice. It would just perpetuate the cycle on conflict. From that point onward, he developed the philosophy of nonviolence and practiced it in his life, as well as in his search for justice in South Africa. He ended up staying in that country for 22 years, and then he went and led the movement of India. And that movement ended up with an independent country, something that no one ever would have envisioned. Gandhi is one of my heroes. He was not perfect, and he did not accomplish all of his goals, but he learned synergy within himself. He invented a third alternative, creative nonviolence. He transcended to alternative thinking. He was not going to run away, and he wasn't going to fight. That's what animals do when cornered. They fight or they flee. That's also what two alternative thinkers do. They fight or they flee. Gandhi changed the lives of over 300 million people using synergy. Today, there are more than a billion people in India. It's a tremendous place. You can feel the energy, the economic and spiritual vigor of the great independent people. That's an amazing story. I love that. Hey, can you hear him, Murpsal? I can't hear Maratib.
Maratib is
Sorry,
muted.
sorry. Um, yeah,
I
yeah,
was
that's
wondering,
right.
I couldn't hear you. Yeah.
So, yeah, you are right. That's why he's a founder of India, and his philosophy
That's so
of
amazing. Yeah.
non-violence is very influencing the whole world, and because he actually advised for himself through synergistic solution. And in spite of he became so angry, he started to show when he was thrown out of the train, he started uh, to develop a theory which he practiced, and that theory were the foundation of liberating the India from the British rule on that time. Um, and Stephen Covey himself was a great fan of Mahatma Gandhi, and he was very in touch with the Indian leadership in regards to inspirational, and they wanted to know the real stories, what the secret of success of India. Um, Apart from the religious, some identity or the conflict between Hindu and Muslim or Christian or Sikhs, that's a different thing. But overall picture of the India is a great outcome of non-violence, which was a result of synergistic solution advised by Mahatma Gandhi for whole Indian nation. Um and even that was also one of the cause how the Pakistan was separated from India peacefully as well on the papers as well. But that's I'm not going in details about because that's not the topic of ours. So that's it. I hope that you are much clear about identity crisis and how we should approach to handling our identity and the other people's identity. Not only handling, but reshaping towards the third alternative, to create, to produce the great miraculous results in form of synergy, and to create a great relationship between husband and wife, between two partners, between seller and client or customer, between developer and agriculturalist or environmentalist, between Republican and Democrats, between India and Pakistan, between men and women, between China and USA, and it's an endless list. Uh, so that's it. If you have any question, I'm available for any discussion. Otherwise, I will hang up the lecture. Is already quite long. I think the recording as well.
I think I'm very optimistic and seriously learn a lot about the mindset, how we can change our mindset to the third alternative by exercising the empathy and just giving a little some kind of counseling or education to the third person when we having a conflict. So I think we can change our life. I am really very I was it's like I
Absolutely
thank for this
amazing,
we
amazing.
dis we discussed a great topic, I think.
Absolutely.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because it's related with the truth. Actually, the topic
Yeah,
is related to seeking the truth,
seeking the
and
truth.
seeking the truth is not a easy when you are growing up, or your nurturing is under a different environment, and later on, I think we are the blessed people that at least we come across towards that there is third alternative pattern of thinking as well, which will keep me away from any prejudice, any biasness, any biasness, any racist type of thoughts or attitude if I had before, and I it will help me to coordinate with any other person which I think he or she is a stranger. Actually, he or she is not stranger. He or she could be a multi-talented, multi-strengthful person of a huge, immense contribution towards his or her life as well. So why I should see herself or himself and try to stereotyping because he or she is representing a group, a side. So I have to not only ignore, I have to completely transform my thinking when I come across to meet any person. Even you are interacting with a female or a male, or any nation, or any group, or any religions, or any language, or any uh, anything, any original nationality. So if we have transformed our mindset, that I'm sure we will make great decision that will maintain the peace in not only in my life, but also to the other people whom I'm interacting on a daily basis.
Maratib, in the beginning of this class, I couldn't really define the third alternative, or synergy. I knew it was the third alternative, but I didn't really know how to put it into words. But in this class, like Ifsal said, I have completely learned the empathy factor is imperative to the third alternative. That's like the key to it, it seems. So
Hmm.
I didn't really, I mean, like I knew it, but I didn't put it together like I did now with this class. So thank you for that.
No,
I
very
think
well. Yeah.
I think our group, we are discussing now is a great example of synergy. Somebody
Yeah.
from Georgia, somebody from London, and somebody from Manchester, and we
Yeah.
all synergizing and helping each other to live a
Absolutely.
better, to
Very
live
well
a
said.
better life, to
Yeah.
live a better life, and to live, like a comfortable life. Seriously,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely. We all need the same stuff, right?
I say.
very well said. Very well said.
Mm.
I appreciate your feelings and the spirit in the classroom we have. So we hope that we will bring more good topics and content which we can learn and share and bring a great productivity in our life with a lot of improvement uh, in the quality of life which we are living. So thank you very much. Before we hang up, if you have not joined our YouTube channel, you can subscribe us. There are a couple of links. You can browse them. And thank you so much for your being patient to having a very long episode of this lecture. And see you next Sunday with a different topic.
Thank you,
Thank you very
Maratib.
much. Thanks, yeah,
Bye.
Jane. Thanks, Jenny. Bye. Thank you.